Hey friends, welcome back to TJKidz Super Fun Stories, where imagination becomes reality. And it looks like our favorite cat detective, Sprinkles, is back on the case. And hey, if this is your first cat detective adventure, you might want to check out the first one, The Cattective, if you haven't already. It's not necessary, of course. All you really need to know is that Sprinkles the cat, well, he's a cat detective. He goes around solving crimes and mysteries with the confidence of someone who definitely takes himself way too seriously. I wonder what kind of crazy adventure he's up to today. Well, I guess we're just going to have to listen to find out. So grab a comfy spot, get cozy, and join me for this adventure. The Cattective in the Case of the Clogged Toilet. Mason and Liz were in the living room playing a new game when they were interrupted by a tiny knock at the front door. Not a loud knock, more like a soft tap, tap, tap. Liz pulled down the blinds and peeked through the window.
Mason? You've got to check this out.
What is it? Asked Mason.
There's a cat on our porch,
said Liz.
At least, I think it's a cat.
Mason ran over to the window to take a look. Sure enough, a small gray cat with speckles all over his fur stood proudly on the welcome mat. He wore a tiny detective hat, a little coat, and carried a notebook tucked under one arm like he had somewhere important to be. The kids hurried over to the front door. Mason opened it slowly.
Aw, look at him,
Liz said.
He's so cute. He's dressed up like a little detective.
The cat helped himself inside and marched right past them without waiting for permission. I ain't no kitty, he said. I'm a cat detective, and we've got a serious crime scene on our hands. Mason just stared at him in disbelief.
You talk? Is this really happening?
Liz whispered. The cat detective flipped open his notebook. Okay, no time for introductions here. We've got a situation. Now, what I'm gonna need from you is some tuna, half a can, lightly salted, in a porcelain dish.
Wait, what?
Mason asked. Pay attention, the cat detective said. Time is of the essence. And grab a pen. You should be writing this down. Liz ran over to a kitchen drawer, opened it quickly, and held up a pen.
I've got one.
Good. Now, tuna, half a can, lightly salted, porcelain dish, and milk, warm. Not hot, warm.
Who are you?
Mason asked. I already told you, the cat said. I'm a cat detective. Sprinkles, the cat detective. Liz looked at Mason.
Sprinkles? Aw, that's adorable.
Sprinkles didn't respond. He was already walking toward the hallway with the confidence of someone who had solved 1,000 mysteries.
What are you even here to investigate?
Mason asked. Sprinkles stopped at the bathroom door. Yep, just as I feared. We're dealing with a classic 1053, Code Brown.
Code what?
Mason asked.
What are you even talking about? I feel like this is a dream.
Unfortunately not, said Sprinkles, pointing at the toilet. This is the real deal. Anonymous tip came in. Clogged toilet, overflowed, a real mess.
Wait, are toilets clogged?
Asked Liz.
Ew, we didn't even know about that.
Sure you didn't, Sprinkles said. Save it for your witness statements. For now, we secure the area." He pulled a roll of yellow tape from his coat and wrapped it around the bathroom doorway until it looked like a miniature crime scene. Just then, the family cat Trixie strolled in. She stopped when she saw Sprinkles.
"Who are you supposed to be?"
she asked. Sprinkles lifted a giant magnifying glass to his face. His eye looked enormous behind it. Trixie burst out laughing.
"You look ridiculous. Seriously, what is this?"
"Sure, sweetheart," Sprinkles said. "Pretend you don't know me. Most cats get a little starstruck when they meet me for the first time. But do me a favor. I've got an active crime scene here. Step back about 10 paces until I'm ready to take your statement."
"Whatever," Trixie said. "Enjoy playing pretend. I'll be on my perch."
"Sure, doll," Sprinkles said. "You can watch me work from your perch. That way you stay safe while watching your favorite Cattective solve a crime."
"Whatever,"
Trixie said as she walked away. The kids watched the two cats meow at each other in rapid-fire conversation.
"What do you think they're even talking about?"
Liz whispered.
"No idea,"
Mason replied. Sprinkles stepped into the bathroom and examined the scene. He sniffed the air. He sniffed the sink. He sniffed the dirty toilet water covering the bathroom floor. His nose nearly touched it. "Yep, that's fresh evidence," he said. "This crime happened within the hour." He turned and pointed at Mason. "Hey kid, grab a beaker. I'm gonna need you to get a sample."
"A sample?" Mason asked. "Of that? Are you kidding?"
"A Cattective never kids," Sprinkles replied. Liz scrunched up her nose in disgust.
"I'm not touching that."
Sprinkles scribbled something in his notebook. "Uncooperative witnesses. Noted." He walked over to them. "Okay, time to take your statements. Names."
I'm Mason," Mason said. "I still have no idea what's happening here."
"No need to understand," said Sprinkles. "All I need is your cooperation." Then he turned to Liz. "Now, what about you?"
"My name is Liz," Liz replied. "I live here."
"Slow down," said Sprinkles. "We'll get to that." Then he turned back to Mason. "Where were you in the last hour?" he asked.
"In the living room," Mason said, "playing a game with Liz."
"Mm-hmm," Sprinkles said, turning back to Liz. "And you? How many plies do you use on average?" Liz looked confused.
"Plies? What do you mean?"
"Toilet paper," Sprinkles responded. "How many squares?" Liz seemed surprised by the question.
Just a couple, I guess. 2 or 3.
Sprinkles wrote something down. Then he turned back to Mason. "And you?"
I don't know," Mason said. "I just crush up a bunch and use what I need."
Sprinkles wrote something down.
"Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I didn't do it," Mason said. "We didn't even know the toilet was clogged."
"Sure," Sprinkles said. "I've heard it all, but I'll be the judge of that. It's my job. It's in my blood. Now," Sprinkles continued, "I'm going to need statements from everyone in the house. Who else is living here?"
Our mom is upstairs,"
said Liz.
"She's not gonna talk to a detective cat,"
Mason interrupted. "It's Cattective," Sprinkles corrected. "And yes, I'll need to interview both parents. Now, where is Dad?"
He's at work,
Liz responded.
Understood, said Sprinkles. I guess we're going to have to do this the hard way. All right, I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I need answers, and I need them fast. Okay, said Mason. Now, Sprinkles continued, is your dad a big guy? What is his average bathroom session? 10 minutes or under? Or the classic dad escape time, 30 to 45 minutes?
Before they could answer, Sprinkles spotted something on the floor of the bathroom. A small clump of hair. He held it up.
Interesting, he said. Is Trixie in here often?
Sometimes,
Liz said.
I mean, we don't really pay attention. She kinda just goes wherever she pleases.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just then, Blaze the dog trotted by.
Whoa, 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 bud, Sprinkles said. Active crime scene here. Watch your step.
Oh, said Blaze. I was just curious about all the commotion over here. What's going on? He asked.
We've got a classic 1053 over here, Sprinkles responded. Clogged toilet. Do you know anything about it?
The cat is always in here, Blaze responded. Always causing trouble. Wouldn't surprise me if she clogged the toilet on purpose. She'd be better off as a feral cat, not really fit as a pet.
Interesting, said Sprinkles.
Then he noticed some tiny specks on the tile. He lowered his magnifying glass.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He followed the trail down the hall, around the corner, and straight to Trixie's litter box.
Aha, he said. Looks like this is gonna be an open and shut case.
Trixie stormed in.
What are you doing in my litter box? This is my private space.
Sprinkles waved his paw at her.
Look, darling, I get it. You were getting lonely, wanted a big, strong cat around, so you caused a disturbance to get me here. I've seen it 1,000 times. I'm flattered, really, but I'm a busy guy. I don't have time for a wife. And this is a crime. I can't let that slide.
Ew, Trixie said. No. And why would I waste my litter by flushing it? I need that stuff.
She looked into her litter box.
Wait, there's a huge section missing.
Sprinkles lowered his magnifying glass toward the litter. Trixie smacked it out of his paw.
No, you will not magnify my poop.
Sprinkles calmly responded.
Ma'am, this is an investigation.
That is my private business, Trixie said. Investigate literally anything else.
Sprinkles stared at the litter box.
Missing litter, paw prints, trail of specks, hairballs that don't match, and a dog with a grudge.
He headed back out by the bathroom where Blaze was pacing around. Blaze backed up. What? I didn't do anything. I don't even like litter. It's sandy. It gets in my fur.
Sprinkles pointed at the floor. Funny, because there are paw-shaped dents in the litter box. Dog-sized paw dents and a trail of kitty litter leading to the toilet, Sprinkles added.
Okay. I did it, Blaze cracked. I clogged the toilet. I just wanted Trixie gone. She always walks around here like she's the boss of this place, and she gets to do whatever she wants. It's not fair.
Save it, Sprinkles interrupted. I've heard it all before. Crime is crime, and I caught you red-pawed.
Trixie ran into the room and turned to Blaze.
It's called being a cat, genius.
Case closed,
Sprinkles said, closing his notebook. He walked proudly toward the front door, like some kind of hero that had just saved the day.
Wait, Mason said. That's it? Aren't you going to unclog the toilet? And take down the crime scene tape?
Liz asked. Sprinkles stopped at the doorway.
Kids, I solve crimes. I don't clean them up. You're gonna need to call a plumber for that.
And with that, Sprinkles the Cattective strutted out the door and into the neighborhood, already on the trail of his next case. The end. And that is the end of our story, friends. Oh boy, can you believe that, Cattective? Just walking out of there like some kind of hero? And he didn't even offer to help? He really thinks he's the best, doesn't he? Well, I guess he did solve the case, even if no one even knew the toilet was clogged to begin with. Well, except for Blaze, of course. Hey, he's probably the one who called the Cattective to begin with. And that leads me to a moral I learned from today's story. When you try to get someone else in trouble, you usually end up in more trouble yourself. It's always better to try and talk things out. Hey, guess who came up with the idea for this story today? Yep, my daughter. I asked her what should be the next Cattective mystery, and she thought for about 1 second and said, "The case of the clogged toilet." I laughed, and then I realized, wait a minute, that's actually perfect. So this one's all thanks to her little genius brain. I hope you all liked it. Well, that's it for today, friends. Thanks for tuning in. See you on the next one. Toodles!